Okay, everyone. Hi there. I don't know if anyone's going to join me or not, but it doesn't matter because this is a video that I've wanted to do for a long time. And so now what's going to be really good about this is that it will be up so everyone can see. So I just want to do a very short definition or explanation, maybe I should say, of what is impeachment. Because we are about to enter into what is going to be one of the most interesting times, something that is truly going to make a difference in our lives, something that will show up in the history books. And I want to share the knowledge that I have and then hope that you'll share it with other people as well. The thing is that we are exhausted. We are exhausted by not only the guy that's in the White House, but we are exhausted by everything that's going on. But this is not the time to become faint. This is the time that you're going to have to stay engaged because you're going to have to explain some of this stuff to people who don't know. Okay, so very quickly, and if you have questions, go ahead and put them in there. But if not, I'm just going to go through this. So what is impeachment? The technical definition is removal from office, but you're only removed from office if you are impeached for and then you are convicted of. That's the part that most people don't know. You have to be impeached and then you have to be convicted. Okay, so you have to be impeached for, convicted of bribery, treason, or high crimes and misdemeanor. So let's get the treason out of here. No one has committed treason. No one in this country, not even the criminal who's in the Oval Office. It's not treason. Bribery is something that we really do need to think about. But let's talk about this. Now, a lot of people say that impeachment is like the grand jury. A lot of people don't know what that is. So I'm going to relate it to the thing that we all know, law and order. So what this impeachment process is going to be is we've all watched Law and Order, correct? And so you know that if you watch that TV show, the first half is law. And that's the people who are going out and gathering all the evidence, and then they take it to the order, the prosecutors, and they say, yeah, you got a case, this guy is guilty. That's what it is, law and order, okay? And so who is the law and order in this case? We have two branches of Congress. There are two branches. One is the House of Representatives, and the other is the Senate. Now, the House of Representatives has 435 members. Each of you need to know who is your one person in the House of Representatives. They represent your district. So as soon as you hang up from this, Google who is your representative if you don't know. There are 435 members of the House, and there are 100 members of the Senate. That's because there's 2 per state. Okay? And so that means that each of us has 1 representative and 2 senators. So the House is the law. So the House with 435 members, they are now gathering all the information. He has not been impeached yet. He's not even going to be impeached when these things start on Wednesday. This is the gathering of the information, presenting it to the rest of the House members, presenting it to the rest of America, so we can see what evidence they have. What I believe they are going to impeach him on is extortion, bribery, and obstruction of justice. But I don't know. I'm just this little old person here who thinks she knows something about politics. But I think after we watch the things on Wednesday and Friday and next week, that he will be impeached for obstruction of justice and extortion. And if it is bribery as well, that is something that's actually in the Constitution. A president cannot abuse his power and extort another country. So, once the evidence is all put together, the House of Representatives, the law, they will vote to impeach him. It's going to happen. They need 2/3 of 435 people to vote and say, yes, we want to indict this man. Yes, this man should be impeached. The Democrats have control of the House of Representatives, so they will impeach him, I believe, because they have enough evidence to do it now. But they want to bring the case before the people. And so once he is impeached, that will be for the rest of history. Donald Trump will become the third president in United States history to be impeached. So, no, the vice president doesn't become second in command because Donald Trump will not be removed from office, because it's like Law and Order. Remember, Law and Order. So what happens on the TV show Law and Order? First, they arrest him, so it's not an arrest, but he will be indicted. And now the case goes to court. The order. And it goes to court in the Senate. Now remember, there are 100 members of the Senate, and they will put on the case once again. And so the House, and it will probably be Adam Schiff, will go over and present the case along with his staff. It's not going to be him the whole time. And they will present the case so that the Senate can find Donald Trump guilty of whatever articles of impeachment they have. So whether it's obstruction of justice, abuse of power, bribery, or extortion, they will be trying to convince the Senate to convict him, to find him guilty. Now, here's the problem. In order for Donald Trump to be found guilty and then removed from office, 2/3 of the Senate has to vote to find him guilty. So what is 2/3 of 100? 67. So how is this going to work? Well, there are 45 Democrats in the Senate right now, plus 2 independents, Bernie Sanders and from Maine. I can't believe I don't remember his name right now, but he's from Maine. You know him. I love him. So there's really 47 people who will vote with the Democrats to convict him. Where are the other 20 going to come from? The other 20 have to be Republicans. And in today's times, they are not going to convict him, or they will not find him guilty. Now, the same thing happened with Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was impeached by the House of Representatives. Then they went straight to the Senate for the trial. And in the Senate, he was found not guilty. Because I guess the Senate didn't think somebody should be removed from office for a sexual act. I'm just saying. So he was found not guilty, but he was still impeached. And because he was found not guilty, he was able to then continue his term as in the office. Okay? So now here's the real dig. that has never happened because Bill Clinton, it was in his second term. The real dig is that once Trump is found not guilty in the Senate, he can once again run for office. So next summer, he will be an impeached president, but he will still be able to run for office. You might say that's crazy, but if somebody gets arrested on Law and Order, if someone gets arrested and then they are found not guilty, should they not be able to get a job? It's the same thing. If he is found not guilty, he's not guilty. It will just be impeachment will be on his record. So for all the people, all these months who have been saying that Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, they need to impeach him, they need to do something, Nancy Pelosi was absolutely right. Because she said, what good was it going to do to impeach him when he wasn't going to be removed? And she said he was going to impeach himself. The reason that they are moving forward with this now is because they have no choice. I have not been for impeachment because what good would it do? Also, I have not been for impeachment because we didn't have anything that really fit high crimes and misdemeanors. Just because he stood in front of the camera and said, Russia, if you're listening, we cannot prove that's a crime, a political crime, not a criminal crime. Just because he does things that we don't like, just because he is a fool, he is a criminal, he is the nastiest, most defiled man in history in that office, none of that is a crime. And so for all the Democrats, of which I am one, who have said he needed to be impeached, he needed to be impeached, they would have never found him guilty because you can't prove that he wasn't kidding when he said, Russia, if you're listening. The reason that they're impeaching him now is that the crime is obvious. And so it's going to be interesting for people like Lindsey Graham, of the senator from South Carolina, who voted to impeach Bill Clinton for a sexual act in the Oval Office, is now saying there's nothing to see here. The Democrats have a great case, and it's going to begin on Wednesday. And even though I am so late on delivering my book, I hope my editor doesn't watch this Facebook Live. Even though I'm late on delivering my book, I'm going to be watching every minute because we have to stay engaged. Even though you don't want to go, you have to stay engaged. Carolyn Ford says that it's a double standard. I don't know if it's a double standard as much as being a hypocrite. The standards are the same for everyone, but the political climate has changed, and I would like to blame it all on the criminal in the Oval Office, but a lot of it did start with President Obama, not by his fault, but by people who could not get over the fact that a black man had been elected. And I've read every political book that's come out after the election. And one of the things that President Obama said is that he was almost sorry he was elected because he thinks he was about 20 years too early. Okay, so that's what impeachment is. I don't know how the criminal in the Oval Office gets impeached right now. I mean, he gets impeached. I don't know how he gets convicted because we don't have 20 Republicans who are going to vote him out. But the evidence is going to be so clear, and it's going to be so important for all of you to know and to watch so that you can explain it to your friends, that he is guilty of extortion and bribery. Get rid of the quid pro quo. Nobody knows what that means. It means this for that in Latin. But what it is that he bribed people. He tried to extort money for military and money from them. So that's what it is. Impeachment, he will be impeached, but that does not mean he will be convicted. If he's not convicted, he will not be removed. He will run for office. And then can you imagine if he runs for office and wins? Can you imagine he will be out of control? Nobody has said this. No one on television has said this, but I think one of the things that concerned Nancy Pelosi was I wondered if she wanted to keep the impeachment for next time just in case he won. Now that will be off the table. So he will be impeached, he won't be convicted, and then we better vote. We have better vote like we've never voted before. We better get out there and we better take 5-10 people with us. Not kidding. In the blue states, we've got to run up the numbers. In the red states, we need to run up the numbers as much as we can. And in the swing states, I'm going to try to go work in about 2 or 3 different places because this is probably the most important election of our lifetime. So I don't think there were any questions. I didn't see any questions. He will be out of control. Because he will be out of control. And then, Carolyn, you said vote like our lives depend on it. Our lives do. Our lives do. Juanita said, so if he's impeached but not convicted, he will still be allowed to run again. Juanita, yes. And here's the reason why. If somebody's in a regular court case, if they are found not guilty, you can't then say to them, well, you cannot run for office, or you cannot have your job back, or you cannot do this or that. If he's not convicted, Juanita, he's either found guilty or not guilty. And he's going to be found not guilty. And not only that, can you imagine what he's going to run on? He's going to run and say, they tried to impeach me. They tried to take your vote away and I was found not guilty. So for all the people who wanted this impeachment, this is why I didn't want it. I'm glad we're doing it now because we have to. He's a criminal. And if we don't impeach him, then who will be impeached? But it could cost us the election. But it's the right thing to do. So if there are no other questions, I will check out of here and share the video if you want, and just let people know. Yes, Juanita, God help us. Tomorrow or Wednesday, I'm going to talk about the upcoming hearings. Just again, very quickly, I'll talk about the upcoming hearings so that you'll know what to look for and who each of these people are. But yeah, if he's going to turn this into a platform, and I think some of us didn't understand impeachment and we were calling for impeachment before. And this was the right thing to do, but now we're going to have to fight like we've never fought before. So if there are no other questions, you guys have a great evening. I'm going to head back over here to this computer and write because my book is late. Bye.